Hey guys, welcome to AvenueChat. This is Casey Muse, of course, as always, here for another really cool episode. I'm here with my good friend and guy who I highly respect and admire, and don't know that he knows, man. I consider you one of, and I say this not lightly, I consider you one of the kings of Nacogdoches.
Man, dude, that's humbling.
Reason being is because, man, you are one of the first people that I met in Nacogdoches when I moved here 5 years ago, and you intentionally have so much good in your soul and in your heart, and you just pour that mess out.
Yeah, I didn't know I was gonna cry today.
Well, but it's also combined with the idea of balance, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, like you do understand self-care, mm-hmm. and you do understand taking care of yourself, and you do understand why those things are important, right? Me and this guy met, heck, I don't even know how we met. We got a couple of stories, right?
Yeah, right.
There's a couple of stories. There's like,
I'm gonna go with the coffee shop.
The coffee shop? I don't even know that story. Do I know that story?
I think that we were just kind of kept running into each other, and somebody was probably like, hey, y'all should know each other. Because all of the music centered, everything that we have passions for and that we share. But yeah, there are quite a few different ways that we actually finally connected.
There's Java Jack's, a coffee shop. Mm-hmm. There is Unity Coalition.
Oh, for sure.
The Unity Coalition, I think, it may be the most like testimonial of how we just continue to stay in network with each other and continue to be supportive of one another. Man, but yeah, it's been a journey watching you do your thing and grow, going from music to music therapy that I didn't really know you did for the longest. You know what is the craziest story? One of the craziest stories for me is when I first moved here, seeing Unit 65 host their things, right?
Yes, yeah.
Like that's another story. And then seeing you do a couple of shows for Unit 65 that they've done at was it Purple Haze?
Yeah, they did Purple Haze out at Millard's Crossing. They did
Macklemore's.
But what was there was that smoothie shop.
Oh my gosh, Tango Mango.
Yes.
When I used to play with Joe Resendez.
Yeah.
Man, that was like
That was 6 years ago.
We're mighty.
I know.
Grant Howarth.
We're old, man. I'm just kidding.
We might be.
We're living life.
This is Grant Howarth.
Hey.
Listen, man, I had to have you sit down and talk to me about life, liberty. I'm gonna say life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
I'm here for it. I'm into it.
Because, man, the first question is, or first topic is how did you find the interest in music therapy?
Yeah, so I guess first what music therapy is, right?
Right.
So you can talk about it a lot of different ways. I normally go with the use of music to achieve something non-musical, but that's even kind of too limiting because music is therapy itself, but we use music in certain ways that affects the brain and the body, the mind, emotions, the soul, to just accomplish different goals, right? So I got my undergrad in music therapy, a bachelor's of music in music therapy. You have to complete an internship. And
which you went to California to do.
Yes, I went to California to do that. Got to work under a beautiful woman, Bobby Adler. I worked in inpatient acute psychiatric facility, adults with developmental disabilities, intellectual disabilities, and gerontology, so nursing homes, memory care units, and so then I finished my internship, sat for my boards, and then moved back to Nacogdoches because I really just wanted music therapy to be here. There was nobody doing it.
Not at all.
Opened up a private practice and saw a few clients through that. Put out some marketing materials and things, and then got connected with Heart to Heart Hospice, and I've been there for almost 6 years now, and loving it.
So you were private practice music therapy before you went to Heart to Heart?
Yeah, Mind and Melody Music Therapy.
Wow. And I do remember that. I remember thinking, man, that dude is phenomenal. opening up his own private practice. Where did you do private practice at?
Just here around town. I had a few clients, mostly teenagers and adolescents with emotional behavioral disorders, some autism, but yeah, for the last 6 years, it's been pretty much all hospice, bereavement, and some work with some LGBT teens and kids.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. That is insane. That's a wide variety of clientele that you just laid out.
Yes. Yeah, right.
That is a wide variety of clientele. And go back to, let's do that one more time. What?
Yeah, okay, so my, right, and I just to preface, I think that's what's beautiful about music therapy, right?
Right.
We're kind of the jack of all trades, and then we're able to specialize.
Yep.
So we have a really broad, good foundational understanding of a lot of different people, right? Different populations, different clientele, different consumers, if you will. So I started, and my initial passions were substance abuse, substance use, and LGBT teens, pretty much, is where I wanted my niche to be. And really fell in love with psych when I was in my internship. Right. So kind of focused on the emotional behavioral disorder side of things. And then, my story about hospice, I'll share that really quickly. I always knew that hospice was a possibility, right? As a music therapist. I went to a presentation called Peace Like a River, Hospice Music Therapy. And I found the river because I cried the whole time. Right? Like, my granddad had gone through the hospice experience, and years before that, right? My dad's dad. And I was like, wow, I can never do that. I will never do hospice. That seems way too hard, way too. So I went, and Heart to Heart called me. They found my name from our music therapy CVMT, Find a Music Therapist thing. And they were like, hey, we're really interested in bringing music therapy to hospice. What do you think? And I was like, what? I don't, this has been about 5 years after I had seen that presentation, right? Right. And still I was like, I don't know that I can do that. I'll tell you what, let me try it. Right. Let me try it. So I went and had an interview and saw my first client, and it was like a meteor crashed into me. And it was just such a sign that this is where I'm supposed to be. Right. There's an article out there that says people don't die to meet our needs. And it's true, right? People aren't dying so that I could find my dream job. I'm blessed and honored to be there in those difficult moments and those hard moments and those end of life moments. And just be able to share and bear witness to those experiences that our families and our clients are going through. And then now I work as the bereavement coordinator, so I'm able to also work on the other side of that to help people kind of get their lives back on track and figure out what's next, and to go through that grief journey.
Explain bereavement.
Yeah, bereavement. So for the purposes of hospice, bereavement is the period that we still follow the families. So my organization still follows the families for 13 months after the death of their loved one. So it's the period of mourning. It's the period where we're actively doing the stuff to get through our grief, and to hold on to our grief, and to process it, and to integrate it into what we're doing, because that grief doesn't go away.
No, it's forever going. Yeah. Birthdays come up, holidays come up. You see a toy or something that remembers of, man, yeah. I love how you said my organization, by the way. Yeah. It's like Heart to Heart Hospices is.
It's all mine. It's just that idea of ownership of your craft and ownership of what you do and who you're able to serve. Yeah,
man. It's like ownership of your calling.
Yeah.
And then identifying that this is the purpose that you're here for in this season, so that you can serve the next season. Right. It's a domino effect, man, because it's like, God put you in places to learn what you can in this season so that you can be properly equipped for the next season, so that you can learn endurance, you can be equipped with all of the attributes, whether they be physical, mental, that you can attain, so that you can be able to serve in the next.
Yeah, we've got We got to build up our toolkit.
Yeah, come on. I had a cool mentor once tell me, man, you got to add arrows to your quiver.
I love that. Yes, you got to add arrows to your quiver. Yeah. That's so cool. Yeah. Oh, it's so true. You know, so part of music therapy training is that you have to go through practicum and internship. And I've been a practicum supervisor for the last few years and able to supervise students from Sam Houston. I know I'm not allowed to say that too loud around here.
Okay.
But, okay. That's my undergrad too. So
he was able to supervise students.
Students. Anyway, yeah. So I get to supervise students, and I just recently had my first intern, and man, when I tell you, being able to supervise someone who's learning the craft and learning the field, and there's nothing better,
right?
You know, right. And I say that because I'm definitely going to start using. You got to add more arrows to your quiver, because that's what it's all about. It's about learning, and it's about foraging, and it's about picking that stuff up and just soaking up whatever you can.
Yeah, man, that is the coolest thing. So what do you do for your chill time or your balance time?
Right, yeah, so outside of music therapy,
You do more music therapy.
I do more music therapy, right.
I'll say that because, man, you probably do. There's probably some intentional effort focused on, okay, how do I become a more appropriate music therapist, or in this situation, or blah, blah, blah.
You know, there's a big conversation, there's a big discussion going around about, as a music therapist, how do you keep music sacred for yourself? Right?
I get that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When you use music as a part of your job, how do you keep it sacred to yourself? How do you keep that ownership?
You know, I think you went through that 6 years ago, or at least probably before that.
Right.
Because I think we had a conversation about why you did not perform more independently as a musician.
Right.
And you had discussed with me the balance of doing music therapy and then playing music for other people. But then, you know, you also brought up the topic of, man, sometimes I just got to keep music for myself. Yeah. Because it's important. And, you know, keeping that art form for yourself is heavily, heavily important, right? But yeah, man, you're absolutely right. It's like, you're I feel like I interrupted, but it's
good. It's good. It's true.
Yeah.
You have to take ownership of that. I keep using the word ownership, and I don't know why.
No, I think that's just I think it's a good word.
It's an okay word. Yeah. There's a lot of music that I intentionally keep for myself. Like you said, I used to perform. I haven't performed in a public space in so long. I mean, you know, pandemic aside. I just haven't had that passion or that calling or that movement to perform because recently I've been writing a lot of music, I've been writing a lot of songs, but they've all been really processing songs for stuff that I'm dealing with, and I'll share them occasionally on Facebook or Instagram or something, just in hopes that they brighten somebody's day or help somebody process on their own or whatever the case may be. But yeah, there is that component of keeping it sacred for yourself, and that's kind of the basis for my self-care. I think my key word, my go-to word recently has been intentional. Right? Whatever I'm doing, I need it to be intentional. If I'm having this conversation, if I'm with you in this moment, if we're creating this space together, it's an intentional space.
In this moment.
Exactly, right? If I'm writing a song, what am I writing it for? I need that intention behind it. If I'm doing my job, what am I doing it for?
Right.
I need that intention, right?
Yeah.
And I think that when I'm able to take that intention of being there for myself, that's how I keep it separate, and that's how I define that for myself. It's just the intention behind it, and being intentional with that intention.
Sounds lame. No, that's true.
Yeah,
right. So very true. No, being intentional with this intention, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, man. I often I love the word intention. I use it a lot. I also love the word stewardship.
Yes.
As far as you know, when you said ownership, I was thinking stewardship. As far as identifying the things that you have been blessed with, as far as opportunities encountering things.
Right.
You know, but yeah, I think those are big. So you talked about music in your spare time.
Yes.
What else is there?
In my spare time, all of it. All the spare time that we all have. I am
10 minutes.
In pretty much my last month of grad school for counseling.
So you have no spare time.
Right. Full-time job, full-time student. I am on the board for Nacogdoches Arts Collaborative with CC Con and all of our other fantastic board members. And so we're trying to gear up and plan some spring events. Lavender Prom hasn't quite come to fruition again yet. We got to do it for 3 years, but we'll start back hopefully next year, since we're figuring out what that new normal is, right? We're living through our grief of COVID.
Yeah.
And, so outside of that, I'm a runner. I write music. I play some video games, and board games are my ultimate chill, right? Yeah. So whenever I can play board games, like through Zoom or with a small group of friends, that's really what I'm doing for myself lately.
Okay. Yeah. That's cool, man. Board games are something that I've gotten into. My girlfriend likes to play board games, and so I never really played board games before whatsoever.
You were missing out.
I have been.
You've been missing out.
I have been. She put me on to what was it? Code Names. You ever play Code Names? Man, Code Names is cool.
What's Code Names?
Listen. So Code Names is so it's like a board of words, right? So you have 25 words. Yeah. And they're laid out in front of you and the person that you're playing, right? And so your goal is and so you might have a little panel board that and it's got black spots that you're not supposed to hit as far as coordinates, and it's got green spots that you can't hit, and it's got that you're supposed to target, right. And it's got gray spots that are they don't end the game. A black spot would end the game, right? Okay. A gray spot was just a spot that's not that person's. It's not your green spot. And so the key is to have that person to guess your green spots. So your clue might look like, your clue is always the number of cards that you want them to guess, and then one word that suggests the clue. Okay. Right? So if there's a bunch of stuff around, my clue might be green, burgundy, or something like that. Okay. Or no, two burgundy or something like that, right? Okay. So the number of, and then you guess, depending on the clue word, whichever ones you want it to be, and hope they don't pick a black one. A black one, right? Because you want them to pick that green card. Yeah. And so the goal or the objective is for both of you to have your green cards. So it's a cool thing to play because it's all strategy, and then it's not based upon anybody winning or losing. Oh, see, I'm out. Right. I'm out. I'm too competitive. However, when you play teams, okay, that's when it gets fun. Your team can win. Yeah, so your team can win. So your first team to guess all of your green cards wins. So you play partners with teams. Okay, cool. Right. Cool. Yeah, man. But Code Names it's legit. I'll check it out. I absolutely will. It is legit for real. Okay. It's so cool. I got a box at my house. We should play some. Let me know, man. Let me know. I'm down for a board game. Cool. Yeah. Cool. I'm sorry, Alex. I'm playing Code Names with somebody else. It's okay. I hope you don't put me on the couch tonight. Awesome. Yeah, man. But dude, so music therapy, or actually LPC and music therapy. Are you looking to continue music therapy? Oh, absolutely. I will always be a music therapist. That's true. You don't like to identify as your job. I know, I hate when people call me a drummer. Right. But it's so integral to how so many people know me, and how so many people know you, and that drummer guy, right? Exactly. And if that's what starts the conversation, cool. Yeah, you gotta let's go a little bit further. You know what I mean? But that's not all I am. Exactly. Let's talk about this now. Yeah, and it's integrating those parts and pulling on what you need to and swapping those hats. Yeah. Okay. So always music therapy. Always. And how much longer do you have in school for your LPC?
May 7th is graduation.
Ooh.
I am almost finished with my pre-graduate internship.
Ooh.
And then I'll wait and apply to take the licensure exam, and then wait for them to send me my results back, and then wait to be able to practice. And
that sounds like a 3-year long period.
No, hopefully fingers crossed. Like whatever wood I can knock on right. I'm sure that's
this is
real
wood.
Anyway, here we go. Hopefully it'll be just a few months, right? So by the end of this year for sure.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, I'll still be practicing as a music therapist. So,
right.
Okay, pretty good. Okay. And for the LPC stuff, I want to continue doing the same things. I love my hospice and grief work. Love working with LGBT individuals.
Yeah.
I don't really see, I don't know what the landscape of what I'm doing is going to look like in 5 years from now.
Yes.
But I know that the soil is still going to be hospice, LGBT, and probably some psych issues.
Ooh, that's powerful. The soil.
Yeah.
Dang. So what are 5 things that your soil is made out of outside of music and outside of counseling?
Okay, my family. Right? Like my people, my family, my friends, my found family. Let's see, my cat. He's got to have his own.
Gotta have your cat.
Yeah.
Why have we not brought your cat up in this
conversation?
I
don't know. He's like the light of my life.
Get it. So are my dogs. I understand that.
Exactly. Yeah. He's Maine Coon.
Mm-hmm.
He's 10 years old. He weighs like 35 pounds.
Yeah.
He wears bow ties.
He's 10?
Yeah.
That's wild.
I know, it's crazy. He was a foster. His name's Kobu. Follow me on Instagram. There are pictures.
Does Kobu have his own Instagram?
No, but he has his own hashtag.
Okay.
It's hashtag Kobu Diaries.
Yeah.
There's a dog that shares it, but
okay.
I think they could be friends in the future.
Probably.
I just built my parents and my roommate helped me build a catio, a patio for my cat.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, he can just climb in and out of my window and be outside his little catio.
More freedom for Kobu.
Oh my gosh, it's so good.
Loving it.
Okay, so my soil, dang. Yeah, I think I'll take like away from the external factors and kind of go to like the core values stuff. Compassion is a really big core value for me. I'm always going to water my soil with compassion.
Okay, so with compassion.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm just cataloging your
soil. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
And for me, compassion, it's not sympathy, it's not empathy, it has that activated component, right?
Mm-hmm.
We can feel, we can, but we still keep moving. We have goals, we have objectives, we have outlooks, we have a place to take that compassion.
Yeah.
So you don't get stuck in it.
Right.
Let's see. My faith is really important to me. Faith and spirituality. And then, I know right after this, I'm going to be like,
dang, I should have said that.
I should have said that.
Ah, that makes sense.
I know, I'm trying not to say
I should have talked about that person.
Right. I'm trying not to talk about any individuals because I know I would leave somebody out.
Yeah, don't do that.
Sorry, Lisa.
You already said Cece.
Oh, dang. Yeah. I did, didn't I?
You sure did. I almost brought up somebody else too, but since we're not name dropping.
We can name drop.
I was going to say Ari.
Oh, Ari, of course. Ari is one of my totem poles, if you will, right?
Yeah.
Like
totem poles.
Poles, exactly.
Looks like a totem pole.
Oh man, that giraffe. Love him.
He's cool, man. I love that guy.
What else would be? Oh, I mean, yeah. Going back to how we met, unity, right? That unity and love component.
Yeah.
Not that toxic positivity.
Sure.
Stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It's okay. I don't care. It's on YouTube. It is.
Okay. Yeah.
I already got flagged because Grant Music says something about glass blowing, and when he says something about glass blowing, he referenced in his story somebody told him.
Well, don't say it again. We're gonna get flagged again.
I don't care.
Tell me.
I'm not looking to get paid off of YouTube.
That's true.
I mean, well, I better not say that. What I was gonna say, but I might have to do some editing. And I don't like to edit, so we're on divert. So what's his story? Okay. But Grant Menzies mentioned a portion of his story where he said, man, somebody told me that glass blowing is more addictive than crack cocaine. And he was just like, man, I got to try that. But he wasn't advocating for crack cocaine. He was advocating for glass blowing. For the creative process of glass blowing.
Yes, thank you. Pick your blowings.
You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
That is a good hashtag. Why did I not hashtag?
I don't know, man.
I didn't think of pick your blowings.
Pick your blowings.
Lord Almighty, I'm gonna hashtag it on this one because that was great.
There it is. Fantastic. Creative geniuses in these shows.
I mean, no, that's you. That's all good.
Oh, yeah, right? Sorry, my brain just fumbled.
Sure.
Not the toxic positivity stuff, right?
Yeah.
I'm not talking about like, oh, we can all come together and blah, blah. No. The reason that we have to come together is because we all have different viewpoints. The reason that we have to come together is because we are different. We have different cultures and we have different skin colors and we have different ideas and orientations and identities, right?
Yeah.
And that's what's going to bring us together when we can understand that, accept that, and move forward with that and because of that.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like a Sarah McLachlan Arms of the Angel.
In the arms of... copyright.
Dang, I'm gonna get sued.
Man, yeah, don't post this.
only got 12 followers and I'm gonna get sued.
Listen,
it's cool.
Loving unity, right? I know that sounds corny, but
no, it doesn't.
That's it's okay if it does, though.
Yeah, it is.
Right?
Them corny things are true. They need to happen.
Exactly.
It's like my dad always used to tell me, I know it sounds cliche, but these cliche things are true.
Thank you.
And then he'd say this word, balance. Go on a whole nother conversation.
We love balance.
Oh my God.
Can I pick a sixth? Balance.
Sure. Balance is your sixth. Balance was always my like top whatever.
Yeah.
That's just something my dad has always talked about, balance forever. And so it's just something other than repetition is the key to life. He used to bore me with those speeches when I was a kid. Shout out to my dad. He's such an OG.
What's your dad's name?
Henry Lee.
Awesome.
Henry Lee Hank Williams.
Henry Lee Hank Williams.
Yeah, man.
What a name.
His name is Henry. His middle name is Lee. Last name is Williams. Somehow he attained the nickname Hank and he loves it. And whatever.
Ownership.
Yeah, man.
You should take it.
I was talking to him the other day. He was going through the drive-thru. He said, my name's Lee. Lee's like for the order name or whatever. I'm like, Dad, when you start just calling yourself Lee? But whatever. I don't know. I got 5 names, so it is what it is.
Hey, I tell you what.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we fall into the boxes that we're given.
Yeah, most definitely. I think for me, man, I stepped into a calling that was given, that a name was given to me, right? So like the name Muse, right?
Yeah.
It's not my name whatsoever.
Right.
It's like not even legally.
Dude, I was so confused when I first met you. I was so confused. Yeah. Had no idea who you were.
You and a lot of people. A lot of people. Man, because I came to NAC and I was just about my stuff, dude. Like I walked in and I grinded from day one.
Yeah, you did. Know what I mean? You hit the ground.
Yeah, dude.
That pavement beneath your feet.
Yeah, you know. And part of it is like, you know, for those of you that like AvenueChats are, I have guests on here, but you know, if we dive in a conversation that's about both of us and the journey, it's like, you know, if it gets to sound like it's about me, but man, that's part of the journey. It's what it is. It's like we honor each other's presence. And so that is what it is, man. But no, man, so the name Muse is a name that was given to me by a mentor of mine. And you know, if you know the definition of muse, it's like inspired, people that you get inspiration from. And at some point in time, man, I stepped into that and I just attached that name to my stuff and just kept it.
Casey Muse.
Yeah.
That's only. I didn't even know you had a last name. I thought that was your last name. Right?
People did.
Yeah.
And then my mom's last name was Royal, so then I attached that because it's it's Royal.
Yeah.
Why would you not?
Why would you not?
You know
exactly.
I mean?
Yeah.
And then somebody started calling me King Avenue, and I'm like, okay, why would I not?
I'm into it. Right? Why would I not?
You know what I mean?
Pros and cons. There are no cons.
Not at all. You know.
Sure.
Yeah. Except people thinking I'm all high and mighty and stuff, but then those are people that don't matter because they mind.
That's just it.
Yeah.
That's not on them.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, my mom once told me, man, if people that matter don't mind, and people that mind don't matter.
Don't matter.
Yeah,
Not a bit.
Yeah, so
that's just the way it is.
Fire gems, arrow to put in your quiver.
Come on.
Tool to put in the toolbox. Yeah,
Come
man.
Come on, that man.
You know what I mean? For sure, dude. But yeah, man, it's just kind of, and then meeting people like Grant Howarth and all the other extremely amazing people that I've met since I moved to NAC, and all the other extremely amazing people that I've known all of my life, dude. It's just...
Yeah, because we moved here, or you moved here and I moved back about the same time.
I think so.
Right, 2015-ish? Yeah.
I moved here 2016.
Okay.
I started working in Lufkin in 2015. And then I found my house here in 2016.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think we met when you were working in Lufkin. Or I mean, for like the first time.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah. Because that's when we really got started with Naked Unity Coalition and the Unity Festival and what was that, 16 or 17?
Yeah, 17.
Man.
16, I think it was late 16.
Yeah. Got started late 16, did it summer of 17 maybe.
That's crazy.
That's not on the books.
That is. We're not doing another Unity Coalition?
Oh my gosh. It was so worth it. It was so great that first year, especially.
It was cool. You know what I loved about that second year? I wasn't even there, but then John Lacey was there.
Yes.
And then John Lacey showed up like a boss.
Oh my! Listen. I know we weren't naming names, but John Lacey showed up and showed out, man. He came through and did equipment. He did MC.
Wasn't even supposed to.
Wasn't even supposed to.
Just supposed to do his set.
I was blown away.
That's my guy. Shout out to John Lacey.
There he is. Follow him on Instagram.
Yeah, man. That's my guy for real.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad I could be able to get him plugged in with that. That was
for sure.
Yeah, man.
He was definitely a godsend that year.
Yeah.
And then, I really don't remember the guy's name, but just that one guy who played like country songs on his guitar that was kind of out of tune. He really also came through.
Oh my God.
That second year.
That is hilarious.
Everybody loved him.
Cool, man.
Right? Yeah. And yeah, that's the fun part about life is just following where it goes. And rolling with those punches.
Yeah, there's a lot of punches.
So
there's a lot of punches, man. For sure.
You were saying earlier about the actually I don't remember exactly what you said. It just left my brain. The good and the bad, going through both, holding it both. I have a mentor who says living in and. Right, life is good and it's bad. Life is good and and we live in that and. We live in that space in that moment and that gray area, and that's kind of where we have to learn to thrive.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
that's real good.
I know. You kind of just want to like sit in it and appreciate it.
Yeah.
And it's just that idea that no matter what you're going through, no matter what, I have really bad depression and really bad anxiety. Okay, so personal story.
It's cool. Because after you get done, like, dude, anxiety, like,
right,
it's a thing with me too.
Yeah, like getting into today, I was like sweaty palms, so nervous. I was like, what are we gonna talk about? What am I gonna do? I'm wearing a jacket because I'm like, don't have any blood circulation in my hands now. And I was excited to meet with you, and I was excited to just be present and to share with you and be in that and together. And that's what it's all about. Right.
Yeah, man. For sure. No, man, I love these because it's so funny, man, because it's like we could have this conversation off camera.
Oh yeah,
because it's a conversation you and I would normally have off camera. We've had it before, right?
Yes.
And like all the time. I think like multiple times we've had these conversations off camera. But the deal is I fully believe that my intention and the purpose is to have the conversation on camera because there's so much negative things on social media, right? And people live like, so people's living in the and. I think a lot of times it's predicated on condition as well, or conditioning, right?
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
I think sometimes people are conditioned to live in the and that dwells in the negative.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like for me, it's not okay.
Right.
Like I think it's just continuing of a perpetual cycle
Mm-hmm.
crap, right? But yeah, man, it's just like people need to see these to know that people struggle, but we can all make it out.
I think that goes into it's the idea that we are in the and,
Mm-hmm.
but people aren't. Okay, so when you face a trauma or you have depression or anxiety or whatever the case may be, big T, little t trauma, the ability for your brain to see time and to conceptualize time is separated from the rest of your brain, right? And so people literally get stuck. And that's why when we have depression or we have anxiety or we have these traumas, we literally can't see or remember a time that life was good.
Yeah.
Right? We get stuck in it. And we're not able to see the and. We're only able to see, like you were saying, the bad. And we have to figure out how, just like you were asking earlier, what do you do outside of music? What do you do for yourself? What do you do for that self-care? We have to figure out how to see both sides of that and. All sides of the and, because it's not just a binary, right?
That's good. That's interesting. It's not just a binary.
Yeah.
Go into that deeper. What do you mean? It's not just a binary.
Oh, I mean, you've seen a feelings wheel, I'm sure, right?
Yeah.
We use them all the time. How many feelings are on that wheel?
Come on.
You're allowed to feel all of those at once, right?
Not just
of course,
anger.
you're not going to, right? Not just anger, not just fear,
Yeah.
not just sadness, not just anxiety, not just, right? We have all of this spectrum of emotions, just like we have the spectrum of colors. And it's not binary. We don't just have to be happy or sad. And I had one of my own personal therapists one time told me, you know, here's bad, here's good, right? And we're moving forward. Humans aren't meant to live on either side of that spectrum, right? We have to move. Our lives go like this. And that's the spectrum. It's not binary. We're here, we're there, we're kind of, and you know, it's not just up and down. We go sideways. It's three-dimensional.
You just gave a representation of a sound wave.
I know. It's
the musician.
It's the musician in us.
Yeah.
I am the music guy.
That's why I be doing drums and stuff when I be doing drug counseling and whatever.
One time I got I was at a nursing home and one of the residents turned and said, "Are you that magician?" And I said, "No, sir." They had actually had a magician come in.
That's hilarious.
I was like, "No, I'm the musician, music therapist," and he was like, "Oh, that's a little disappointing." And he just like rolled away. All right, sir, go off.
That was hilarious.
Different strokes.
That's hilarious. Are you that magician?
Yeah. I wish.
Well, in a way, I guess musicians are magicians.
Yeah. My supervisor I was talking about earlier, she, from internship, she always talked about her magic wand. Right? Like, music therapy can help with so much, but it's not a cure-all. It's not a magic wand. I can't just bippity-boppity-boo.
Yeah, so it's
nothing's wrong with you.
Something that's got to be used and applied.
Exactly.
You know, I have this pet peeve of mine, and it's like this thing that was taught to us, and you and I assume it's going to be taught to you too, in formal education when you're in elementary school.
I'm ready.
And it is knowledge is power.
How do you use it?
That's the power part, is you got to use it.
Listen, I was in Keep Nacogdoches is Beautiful,
right,
as a kid. K and B.
Right.
And I don't know, we were middle school maybe, and we were probably just like power hungry children.
Yeah.
Just wanted to save the world, fix the world, right?
Yeah.
So I don't even know exactly how it came up, but our slogan became knowledge is power, power is control, control your life and that of those around you. As like 6th graders.
That is so terrible.
I know. I think back to that and I'm like, who let us do that?
Who did let you do that?
I know. I know.
Holy moly.
I know.
Grant.
I know. I've come a long way, man.
You can tell where your head was at when you were little. You dark, negative, pessimistic kid.
It was that. Well, and part of it was that savior complex, right? Like, my ways, I know how people need to be and that's what we got to grow out of. God,
say it again. What did you say? Knowledge.
I don't even want to say.
Knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power. Power is control.
Whoa.
Control your life. That's fine. And that of those around you.
Dang.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Nah, man. I break it down so goofy. Like, I'll be like, man, knowledge ain't power.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is. Because I do that with my kids. I counsel.
Sure, yeah.
Dude, why do you believe knowledge is power? Because it is. Like, do you fully believe knowledge is power? Or is that just something people tell you so you believe it because you've been told that? And if it is power, are the people that you're listening to, do they have power? Do they exude power? Are they examples of somebody or something that gives you power?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And if the answer is no, why are you paying attention?
I think that's a good point. How do you define power?
Mm-hmm. How do you? I don't define power. I think I substitute the word power with influence.
Okay. That makes sense. Right. Just from the way you were talking about it, that idea that what you fill your mind with and what you fill your heart with, it means so much.
Because at some point in time, it's like if you utilize or apply the knowledge that you attain, then you will be influential. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily powerful. Mm-hmm. Those things, I guess they can be interchangeable as powerful and influential.
I don't know, because not everybody has a voice.
True.
Well, I mean, excuse me, everyone has a voice, but not every voice is heard.
Yeah. But I mean, like, influential could be like, you're the dad that raises your kids in your family. Mm-hmm. It could be small influential.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter how big it is, you know?
Micro and macro.
Yeah. Like, if you are somebody's muse for what they do, right? No matter, like, it could be a Boy Scout instructor, a music teacher, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Who cares? You have influence, therefore you have power. Use it wisely.
Use it wisely.
What's
with great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah, it does.
It's true.
It's crazy. I don't know, man.
Yeah, and it's about, and it all comes back to how we exist in the world and what our landscapes are and how our landscapes grow next to each other
and how we identify what our intentions are and how we are intentional.
Come on, intentional.
About our intentions.
Come on, intentional.
Come on, man. That's the word of the day.
That's the word of the day. Hashtag
intentional.
Yeah. Intentionally intentional.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just always thought that's really important. Growing up, we had a plaque in my house. It was my dad's favorite Bible quote. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Right. And I think that really dictated how I saw the world, right? As someone who was here to serve and someone who was here to not necessarily make a difference, because that's weird. Yeah. But to, just that adage, like, leave the world a little bit better than you found it. And whatever that means, right? For the people around you, for yourself, for the environment around you.
Yeah, because that's the only thing that you can see or even have some type of voice of how it moves anyway. Right? You said something earlier, man. I thought it was amazing. I think we passed over it like you didn't say it. Been on that Kevin Hart thing. We're not just gonna skip over that like you didn't say what you said. We passed over it like you didn't even say it. You used the word movement. Yeah. When you talked about performing music, right? But then the word movement, like, I know you to know that you are very picky and choosy about using this word versus using that word. Yeah. And I know you didn't use the word movement in any way that's light or a light context. Why did you use that word?
Talk about power, right? I think that words hold a lot of influence, a lot of power. And when you're intentional with your words, we have to be intentional because that's what makes the impact. That's what helps others understand where you're coming from and what you're saying. If somebody else is willing to listen. Movement. I honestly, I mean, I don't remember exactly what context I used it in. Just talking about like the Unity Festival, or talking about.
I think you were talking about feeling like inspired to perform or something in front of crowds.
Oh yeah. I mean, just that idea of where your passions move you, right? Sometimes where I can't say we. Sometimes I'm not as motivated, and part of that is depression. But I think that the way I view life is very, I want to say directional. Even like the way that I describe grief, right? We're moving on a line, and sometimes that line loops, and that's our grief loop. It's a grief theory, right? But even when it feels like we're moving backwards, we're still moving forward because the loop is still coming around. So yeah, just moving, allowing those intentions, or allowing the world around you to sometimes give you that help. The movement for if I'm gonna perform or not, right? What am I feeling? What am I feeling led to do? What is the world moving me to, or the environment, or my spirit? Where am I moved?
We're speaking of words or things that we choose not to say. You know, one thing I wish people would quit saying: low key.
Low key. Did I say that?
Oh,
good.
No, I just wish people would quit saying that. It's
low key.
ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, what's the point? Do you mean it or not?
Well, they mean it, but they want it to be heard louder.
Yeah.
So why is it low key? Why are you trying to dumb it down like it doesn't matter?
Yeah.
Instead, you know, why don't you just say it's high key, or scream it, or have the confidence to really go to someone and talk about it? Because literally, right? So like, majority of the things that people say, oh, I low key want to do this, or low key this means that, or low key blah 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 blah. They really want to say, this means the absolute world to me right now, and I really want someone to listen to me. It's pretty high key. You just are keeping it quiet because you're trying to say low key, and now it's normalized because of the phrase low key. But you don't really realize what you're saying when you say that.
And what does that do to us as people, as humans, as interconnected beings, right? When we dismiss ourselves like that.
Right.
What is that telling you? What is that allowing yourself to get by with? What is that telling yourself when, do your needs matter? Does your life matter? Does your, own it. Be it. Yeah. I never thought of that. But I respect it a lot. I think that we could definitely take that out of our vernacular.
Yeah, definitely. Low key.
I low key think that we could take that out of our word choices.
I think so. I low key think that this has been the worst episode of Avenue Chat ever. See what I did there?
Wow.
See what I did there? Low key, it's the worst.
Okay. Thanks, Casey. Dude. No, I don't even know how long we're going.
About 40, 50 minutes.
What time it is.
50 minutes or so.
Dang. Wow, time flies when this guy's around. Thank you for having me today.
Yeah, man, for sure. Hey, guys, this has been Avenue Chat with Casey Muse and Grant Howarth, King Grant. Yeah, man, check out my other series of Avenue Chats that I got with Ruby Witter, Grant Menzies, blah, 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 whoever, man. I got a bunch more coming up. They're really exciting. I'm so excited about Avenue Chat. Check out Drum Talk. Peace, blessings to all.